This video details out a simple 5-step process you can use to master objection handling. Objection handling is not about pressuring a buyer with salesy tactics. It's about guiding and presenting alternative options that alleviate concern and help get them to a better outcome. I'm Ross Van Wyk, founder of OverQuota, and we provide content and software to help sales reps unlock their full potential and win more deals. If you like this video, please subscribe to see more great content and future releases. Before you can handle an objection, you must be prepared for them. That's why before we get into the 5-step process, you must start by understanding the objections you're likely to receive. Sit down with your colleagues and brainstorm the common objections heard in your sales process. The most common objections will come out easily, but try to uncover the lesser known ones as well. To identify objections, listen to sales call recordings and export a closed lost opportunity report from your CRM. With your common objections documented, you're ready to learn the 5-step process. Step number 1, pause. Take 2 seconds. Calculate your tone and a slower pace. Step 2, clarify and isolate. Step 3, empathize with your buyer. Step 4, gain permission to overcome. And step 5, reframe. Let's unpack each of these in greater detail to get you on your way to becoming a better objection handling sales professional. All right, step number 1 is to pause. Set your tone and a slower pace. You were just hit with an objection. Take 2 seconds and be okay with the silence. Put on your late night DJ voice, which should be low and authoritative. Then calculate that slower pace. When you do break the silence after that 2-second pause, step 2 is to ask a clarifying question to uncover and isolate the real objection. This is a critical step because objections aren't always as clear and obvious as they seem. Most times, the first objection is really just what the buyer feels comfortable saying, while the real concern remains underneath the surface. For example, an objection of "we don't have budget" likely means "I don't see the value in this," but the buyer is more comfortable using budget versus telling you that your product has no value. A clarifying question here would be, "Don't have budget?" This will prompt the buyer to share a few more details related to their budget concern. Then you need to isolate. If we were to remove the cost, what else would prevent us from moving forward? By clarifying and isolating, you pull out any underlying reasons behind the objection. Step 3 is empathizing with the buyer to show them they have a valid concern. This is an important step because it demonstrates that you understand their point, which is an important step to build trust before offering up alternative options. Put simply, if you skip this step, you won't be overcoming any objections. To get this right, use the feel, felt, found technique. Let's say we got the objection of not having enough time or resources to implement the solution. The feel, felt, found technique to empathize might sound something like this. "I know how you feel. Time is a finite resource and there's never enough. I hear this from people I talk to at this stage because implementing a platform seems like a big lift. But what we find is that our guided implementation services, along with our included support, carries the bulk of the work, and we really only need 2 to 3 hours of time to get this implemented for you. Would 2 to 3 hours of time be reasonable in exchange for boosting productivity and team performance?" Getting permission is step 4 of the handling objections. It's a quick step, but an important one in the process. This step will remove the friction and neutralize your buyer's mindset. The goal in asking for permission is to make your buyer receptive to a different way of thinking, which comes next in step 5. Gaining permission starts with asking a question. For example, "I have a few ideas. Could I bounce them off of you?" This question implies that you're now the vulnerable one as you're bringing new ideas to the table. Having done the previous 4 steps, you're ready to take it home with the 5th and final step by reframing the objection to offer up an alternative perspective. To uncover reframes, look at your list of common objections and run through this quick exercise. Do you have problems that can be reframed as an opportunity? Have you found a weakness that can be reframed as a strength? What about poor timing that can be reframed as perfect timing? Let's consider an example. If you sell a content management platform, the prospect may object that they are too soon because they have little content to put in the platform. Your reframe would be that it's actually better to get started with less content because they can track usage, which will in turn inform future content creation with metrics provided by the platform. Objections don't have to be a dead end. Identify your common objections, document your responses, and then practice this 5-step process to overcome them with ease. If you like this content, let us know with a like or a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more great videos in the future.